Hi friends, a very good afternoon to all of you and a warm welcome once again on the YouTube channel of BYJU'S Exam Prep. Now this is our next session on routes and networks for all the students who are preparing for CAT 2024. Now previously we have already conducted two different lectures on routes and networks wherein we have discussed some very good sets that have appeared in the previous year paper of CAT examination. Now today in this session we are going to discuss two different sets of groups and networks. One of them will be slightly basic set, and one of them is a set that has already appeared in previous year paper of CAT examination. Now, recently we have seen, like in the last 6-7 years, we have seen that we have observed that routes and networks has become a very important topic, and this is frequently asked in CAT examination. So that is why we are conducting so many lectures on the concept of routes and networks. And today in this lecture, I'm going to solve two different set on this. All right. So friends, let's begin solving these sets. Now set 1 will appear on your screen. The common set of directions will be given. And in this set, you will not be given the route chart. Okay. So diagram given nahi hoga. You will have to make your own diagram and then answer the questions that will follow. All right. So let's look at these questions, these sets one by one, starting with the first set. So this is the direction set. This is the entire direction set for the first set of questions. Please draw the diagram, the route chart for this one, and then I'll take you to the questions one by one. This is a very basic set, a warm-up set for all of you. Now let's read the directions. Now it says that export cargo of a trader can go through 7 cities: P, Q, R, S, T, U, and V. So these are 7 cities given. The following cities have a two-way connection, that is, cargo can move in both directions between them. So two-way connection is between S and U, P and Q, Q and R, V and T, R and T, V and U. All right. Now also there is one-way direction, so cargo can move only in one direction from U to Q. So there are some bidirectional routes in which the flow is on the flow is in both the directions, and there are some unidirectional links as well in which the cargo can move only in one direction. So the first step will be to draw this route chart. So let's quickly do that. Now, since we are given 7 cities, so it will be better if you draw these 7 cities in a circle. Okay. So P, Q, R, S, T, U, and V. All right. Now, looking at two-way connections. So the first one is between S and U. So I'll draw a straight line between them and then put arrows on both sides. That shows that it is a bidirectional route. That means cargo can go in both the directions. Now then P and Q. So between P and Q, there is a two-way connection. Then Q and R, here we have two-way. Then V and T, between V and T. Then between R and T, V and U. All right, so these are all two-way connections. Now one-way connection is from U to Q. So from U to Q, this is a one-way connection, and this is the entire route chart. Okay, now let's have a look at the questions based on this. Question number 1. So I'll show you the question and we'll come back to this route chart and then we'll solve question number 1. Now question number 1 says that if the trader wants the cargo to move from S to T, okay, then excluding cities S and T, what is the minimum number of cities that the cargo has to cross in transit? Now, when nothing else is given related to the direction between them or any of the toll taxes, the expenses to travel from one city to the other, then generally in such type of questions, the questions will be based on finding out the number of ways of traveling or Basically, they will be based on how many cities will be traveled, if I'll use the shortest path or the longest path. Now, this is about the shortest path between S and T. So, we'll have to devise a shortest path between S and T. Now, since this is not a very complex chart, you can write all the routes, all the possible routes between S and T. ठीक है? तो S से start करते हैं. Now, if I start from S, in how many ways I can take an exit from S? So from S, I can only go to U. So S से सिर्फ U पे जा सकते हैं हम. Now, once I have reached U, I can go to either Q or V. So U से Q पे जा सकते हैं और V पे जा सकते हैं. ठीक है? Now, once I've reached Q, I can go to R, I can go to P, but if I'll go to P, I'll have to come back to Q. So there is no use of going to P. So I'll go to Q. Okay, so from Q, I'll go to R. And then from R, I will go to T. There is only one way. Okay, now once you have reached V, V से सिर्फ एक ही तरीका है, T पे जा सकते हैं. Okay, so between S and T, there are two possible routes. Okay, since there are only two possible routes, one of them will be the longest and one of them will be the shortest. I'll have to look at the shortest. So that is S, U, V and T. So excluding S and T, how many cities are traveled? So there are two cities which are traveled, that is U and V. Okay, so the question was, then excluding the city S and T, what is the minimum number of cities that the cargo has to cross in transit? So the correct answer should be option C, that is 2. So going from S to T, will have to cross a minimum of 2 cities in the transit. Okay, so option C is the correct answer for question number 1. Now let's look at question number 2. Now question number 2 is, if the trader wants to go to city U from P, careful with the language, P से U पे जाना है, through the longest route. Okay, so now they're asking about the longest route. How many cities will be required to cross, excluding P and U? Okay, so now we are given the starting point, we are given the end point, and we'll have to travel through the longest route. So once again, what I'll do is I'll try to write all the possible routes from P to U, and then we'll look at which one is the shortest, which one is the longest, and so on and so forth. Okay, so let's go back to the diagram. I will erase the extra information that I have written for the previous question. Okay, now my requirement is from P to U. Okay, so my requirement is from P to U. This is U. So let's take an exit from P. So there is only one way I can take exit from P, that is P to Q. Now once I have reached Q, I can only go to R. I cannot go to U because this is a one-way route. Okay, so I can go to R. There is only one possibility. Now from R, again there is only one possibility. I can go to T only. Okay, right? Now after reaching T, I can go to V. There is only one possibility. And then once you have reached V, you will have to go to U only. Again there is one possibility. Okay, so कोई fight ही नहीं है, यहाँ पे सिर्फ एक ही possible route है between P and U, and we are crossing through 4 intermediate cities. So the correct answer should be equal to 4. That is option B. So option B, 4 is the correct answer. All right, let's move on and look at the third question. Now read it very carefully. Now to move cargo from P to U, what we have done in the previous question, which of the following statements will minimize the number of cities to be crossed in transit? Okay, so basically what they are doing is they are altering the routes between P and U. Okay, so earlier we have seen that there is only one route between P and U. Now what will we do to minimize the number of cities to be crossed in the transit? Okay, right? So I already have the route between P and U. This is the given route. Okay, Now, if I'll connect cities U to R with a two-way connection, so connecting U and R with a two-way connection, so that means from R I can directly go to U, okay, and the route will become PQR and then directly U. So option A will give me PQR and U. Definitely we have like make the route shorter. So earlier we were traveling across 4 intermediate cities. Now I have traveled across 2 intermediate cities only and we have reached U. So definitely the route has become shorter. But let's look at the other options. We'll have to minimize the number of cities traveled. Option B, connect cities P to S with a one-way connection from S to P. Okay, connect cities P and S with a one-way connection, and that one-way connection is from city S to city P. Okay, so city S से city P कोई फायदा ही नहीं होगा S से P का अगर मैं कनेक्शन दे देता हूं. Okay, so there is no profit at all. So option B is of no use. Option C, connect cities U and Q with a two-way connection. So U and Q. So if I'll connect U and Q, so from Q, I can directly go to U. And the route will become PQU. Okay. So option C is giving me a route PUQ, and using this, I can travel through only one transit city. Definitely it is shorter than A. So I will not consider A. I'll consider C. Now let's look at the last one. Connect cities R to V with a two-way connection. So R and V, two-way connection. Again, I can directly go from R to V. That is of no use. So the route will be PQRVU. So I have just bypassed only one city. Still, I have to travel across 3 intermediate cities. So option D will not be the shortest route. So I can say that option C is the shortest route, using which I have minimized the number of cities to be crossed, which is 1. So only one intermediate city is crossed. Correct answer is option C. All right. So that was question number 3 of the first set, and that was the first set. Let's look at the next set, set number 2. Now this set is a previous year paper question from CAT. Okay, so have a look at it, and then we will start solving this. Now the next 3 questions are based on the directions which are in front of you. Now there is a route chart that is also given. Question says that each location has a demand for material. So there are certain locations that you can see in the route chart. Each of them has a demand for material. The demand at Vaishali. So now they are giving us the demands. So let me write the demands. So the demand at Vaishali is 400. Wait, let me increase the size of the diagram so that I can write these numbers properly. Okay. Now the demand at Vaishali is 400. I'll write all these demands inside the circle. At Jyotishmati it is 400. Panchal it is 700. Vidisha it is 200. Okay, and from Avanti everything starts. So everything starts from Avanti, the flow starts from Avanti. Now each arrow indicates, so you can also notice the arrows. Each arrow indicates the direction of material flow through these pipelines. Okay, so material will flow through the pipelines. The arrow tells you the direction, and the numbers inside the circle tells you the demand of the material at each of these locations. Okay. Now the flow from Vaishali to Jyotishmati, Vaishali से Jyotishmati का flow भी दिया हुआ है, it is 300. Okay, so 300 units, 300 liters, whatever unit you want to take. So 300. So let's talk about petrol. So this is the demand for petrol. Okay, so Panchal पे 700 liters required है, Jyotishmati 400, Vaishali 400, and Vidisha 200. And the quantity of petrol that is flowing from Vaishali to Jyotishmati is 300. Okay. Now the quantity of material flow is such that the demands at all these locations are exactly met. This is very important. Okay. So the flow in these pipelines of petrol is such that it will exactly meet the requirement at each of these locations. Okay, so there will not be any extra petrol that will have at the end. Also, the capacity of each pipeline is 1000 liters. So किसी भी pipeline में से 1000 liters से ज़्यादा petrol flow नहीं कर सकता. Okay. Now, based on this, let us understand or let us find out what will be the flow of petrol in these pipelines. Okay. Now, first of all, I'll start from Panchal. Panchal requires 700. So, the amount of petrol that will flow from this pipeline has to be 700 only. It cannot be more than 700. If it is more than 700, then the demand will not be exactly met. Exactly met का मतलब क्या है? Extra भी नहीं होना चाहिए, कम भी नहीं होना चाहिए. Okay, so 700 liters will flow, right? Now, let's talk about Jyotishmati. Now, Jyotishmati, the requirement is 400 and inflow in Jyotishmati is 300. So, 300 liters is coming inside Jyotishmati from Vaishali, and some liters, let's say this is X liters is coming from Vidisha. Vidisha से X liters आ रहा है. So, let's calculate the value of X. So, Jyotishmati में inlet कितने का है? X plus 300. Okay, this is coming inside Jyotishmati, but 400 is the demand. So 400 liters will be kept at Jyotishmati and the remaining will be the outlet. The outlet is 700. ठीक है? So जितना inflow हुआ minus the demand will be equal to the outflow, right? So X plus 300 minus 400 is equal to 700. So the value of X comes out to be 1100 minus 300, that is 800. Okay, so the flow in the pipeline connecting Vidisha and Jyotishmati has to be 800, right? So 800 is the flow in this case, right? Now, for the next two remaining pipelines, the flow, the calculation of flow is very easy. If I talk about Vaishali, Vaishali ka demand hai 400 and outflow is 300. So that means inflow 700 का होना चाहिए. 700 minus 400 is equal to 300. Simple as that. And similarly, from Avanti to Vidisha, so Avanti to Vaishali का flow पता लग गया 700. Avanti to Vidisha, if I'll consider it as X whatever, so inflow minus 200 should be equal to 800. That means inflow will be of 1000. So 1000 inflow hoga, 200 will be kept at Vidisha, remaining 800 will flow outside. Alright, so that's it. This is the complete diagram based on which you can now answer all the questions. Okay, so let's look at the first question. Question number 1. The quantity moved from Avanti to Vidisha. Avanti से Vidisha कितना quantity move किया है? Avanti to Vidisha, as you can see in the diagram, it is 1000. Okay, so 1000 is the quantity that is moved. So the correct answer should be option D, that is 1000. And yes, this is the correct answer. Question number 5. What is the free capacity available in Avanti Vaishali pipeline? Avanti Vaishali pipeline को consider करना है and free capacity बताना है. Total capacity was 1000. ठीक है? So let's check the flow. 1000 minus the quantity which is flowing will be the free capacity. Okay? So Avanti Vaishali pipeline, if I'll go back. So Avanti Vaishali pipeline, the flow is 700 as you can see here, right? So the free capacity is 1000 minus 700 and that should be 300. So option A is the correct answer for this, right? Now the last question, question number 6. The free capacity available at Avanti Vidisha pipeline. So Avanti Vidisha pipeline is this. Already 1000 is flowing, capacity is of 1000. So there is nothing free capacity left. So the answer should be 0. That is option A. Alright. So simple. This one was very easy. Okay. And this is the type of questions, yes, that we have seen in the previous year paper of CAT examination. Alright. So friends, that is all from my side. Now you can enroll for CMAT 2024 specialized course. This is an online classroom program that is available for all of you. Okay, so you can visit our application, or you can also use the link that is given in the description to enroll for this program. Now you can enroll for this specialized program with the features like there will be 20 plus CMAT live lectures, 50 plus engaging videos, 5 CMAT mock papers which are based on updated paper pattern, and more than 10,000 topic wise practice questions will also be available. Also on 21st of March at 7 p.m. we are conducting a free live interactive workshop on CAT 2024 VARC, the game changer. This workshop will be taken by Vikrant sir, and you can attend this workshop free of cost. It's just that you will have to visit our application and register for this workshop. All right. Also, you can get up to 90% scholarship on our CAT preparation program by writing a scholarship test, which will be conducted on 24th of March at 11 a.m. Again, for this test, you will have to visit our application, register yourself. There is no fee that is required to be paid to write this test. So go ahead, write the scholarship test and avail up to 90% scholarship. Roadmap to 99 percentile for CAT 2024. A free live interactive workshop on 31st of March at 11 a.m. will be taken by Srinivas sir. Visit our application and register for this. Also, you can try our CAT college predictor, which is based on the profile score. Any doubts if you have, you can fill in this form. The link is also pinned in the chat box. You can get social with us on all these social media platforms. Thank you very much for being a part of this session. Have a wonderful time. Bye-bye.